I'm Kathy Woodard. I'm with Public Service and Agriculture at Clemson University, and I'm here with Alex Pellett, who is a hydrologist with South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Welcome.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you for taking some time to talk with us today. And I understand that your presentation is on projecting future irrigation in South Carolina. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to be talking about, since this conference is really about engaging with the future and how we're going to manage water resources?
Right, so we're going to be discussing a variety of factors that could affect irrigation in the future. As far as we're looking at total withdrawal volume in the state, and we kind of want to zoom in on different areas that where irrigation withdrawals could grow potentially in the future.
So as it relates to irrigation withdrawals, are you doing anything, is this related specifically to agriculture withdrawals, and what kind of agriculture withdrawals are you looking at?
This is part of a statewide project, and we are looking at all sorts of water use. My presentation today is on agricultural irrigation water withdrawals. We're focusing on the outdoor crops, there are indoor water uses as well for irrigation in nurseries and that sort of thing.
Why is that important, the outdoor crops?
That's just where the majority of water is used for irrigation, is on the outdoor crops. It's mostly the big 5 crops: corn, soy, cotton, peanuts, and wheat.
So what are you hoping to learn from this?
Well, a projection is different from a forecast, for example, so we're not going to try to precisely guess what the future water use will be. Rather, we're hoping to create some scenarios and make some assumptions and see what would that lead to. And so part of the public outreach, such as at this conference, is to kind of talk to people and get them engaged so that they can help us come up with scenarios that could be representative of their plans for the future.
Okay, so give me an example of a scenario and how the scenario planning works.
Sure, so for example, in agriculture, there could be a shift towards more vegetable crops. And those tend to use drip irrigation, which is a different kind of system than usually around here it's overhead center pivots. So they would use drip irrigation, and it could be actually more water per acre or per square foot of crop. So that would be one change. Or, for example, another potential scenario would be hemp. And hemp, depending on how you grow it, could use less water. So there's kind of different factors that could come into play in the future, and we're trying to look at the ones that the stakeholders believe are most important.
So what are you finding out from the stakeholders so far? Have you talked with stakeholders as part of the process, and what are you finding out right now as to what they find is to be important in building these scenarios?
Yeah, we've been having conference calls where we've invited a variety of stakeholders, and they can distribute it among their listservs as well to call in, and we've been presenting on the different water use sectors. And so our irrigation sector is next week, actually.
Oh, so you haven't done those yet.
This is kind of a preview, but I have sat down with some farmers in the state and asked them, and I think there are some possible efficiency gains where there might be some sort of aging center pivots that could be retuned and irrigate more efficiently. So that's one possibility. Another thing that I've learned from the stakeholders is that only a small fraction of our agricultural land is irrigated, and what the farmers on the ground told me is that there's no way all the agricultural land will ever be irrigated. So even if we look out 50 years, they say it's just not appropriate to irrigate those lands due to slope or some other factor.
That's good to know, I guess, yeah. What about emerging technologies? We hear a lot about the use of emerging technology, and I hear you talking about different kinds of irrigation. What are you finding out related to that that's going to be important for these models as far as new technologies like sensors and those sorts of things?
Yeah, so late 2017, we sent out a survey to all the withdrawals in the state, and the farmers responded to that survey saying that it's possible that sort of precision agriculture could help them improve their irrigation efficiency so they're not overwatering some places and underwatering other places. And also it's possible that certain drought-resistant varieties could reduce the need for irrigation.
So they're going to move in that direction, hopefully?
Some of them hope to, yes.
Oh, good. That's good news for all of us, I think. Well, thank you for your time today, and good luck with your presentation.
Thank you, Kathy.